Hi everyone, my name is Joe and welcome to Cockney ASMR. Today I'm going to be reading you some text from the Jack Reacher novel Killing Floor. I hope you enjoy it. I was arrested in Eno's diner at 12 o'clock. I was eating eggs and drinking coffee, a late breakfast, not lunch. I was wet and tired after a long walk in the heavy rain, all the way from the highway to the edge of town. The diner was small, but bright and clean, brand new, built to resemble a converted railroad car. Narrow, with a long lunch counter on one side, a kitchen bumped out back, booths lining the opposite wall, a doorway where the centre booth would be. I was in a booth, at a window, reading somebody's abandoned newspaper about the campaign for a president I didn't vote for last time and wasn't going to vote for this time. Outside, the rain had stopped, but the glass was still pebbled with bright drops. I saw the police cruisers pull into the gravel lot. They were moving fast and crunched to a stop, light bars flashing and popping, red and blue light in the raindrops on my window. Doors burst open. Policemen jumped out. 2 from each car. Weapons ready. 2 revolvers, 2 shotguns. This was heavy stuff. 1 revolver and 1 shotgun ran to the back. 1 of each rushed the door. I just sat and watched them. I knew who was in the diner. A cook in the back, 2 waitresses, 2 old men, and me. This operation was for me. I'd been in town less than half an hour. The other 5 had probably been there their whole lives. Any problem with any of them, and an embarrassed sergeant would have shuffled in. He would be apologetic. He would mumble to them. He would ask them to come down to the station house. So the heavy weapons and the rush weren't for any of them. They were for me. I crammed an egg into my mouth and trapped a 5 under the plate, folded the abandoned newspaper into a square and shoved it into my coat pocket, kept my hands above the table and drained my cup. The guy with the revolver stayed at the door. He went into a crouch and pointed the weapon two-handed at my head. The guy with a shotgun approached close. These were lean, fit boys, neat and tidy, textbook moves. The revolver at the door could cover the room with a degree of accuracy. The shotgun up close would splatter me over the window. The other way round would be a mistake. The revolver would miss in a close-quarter struggle, and a long-range shotgun blast from the door would kill the arresting officer and the old guy in the rear booth as well as me. So far, they were doing it right. No doubt about that. They had the advantage. No doubt about that either. The tight booth trapped me. I was too hemmed in to do much. I spread my hands on the table. The officer with the shotgun came near. "Freeze. Police," he screamed. He was screaming as loud as he could, blowing off his tension and trying to scare me. Textbook moves. Plenty of sound and fury to soften the target. I raised my hands. The guy with the revolver started in from the door. The guy with the shotgun came closer. Too close. Their first error. If I had to, I might have lunged for the shotgun barrel and forced it up. A blast into the ceiling perhaps, and an elbow to the policeman's face, and the shotgun could have been mine. The guy with the revolver had narrowed his angle and couldn't risk hitting his partner. It could have ended badly for him. But I just sat there, hands raised. The guy with the shotgun was still screaming and jumping. "Out here on the floor," he yelled. I slid slowly out of the booth and extended my wrist to the officer with a revolver. I wasn't going to lie on the floor. Not for these country boys. Not if they brought along their whole police department with howitzers. The guy with the revolver was a sergeant. He was pretty calm. The shotgun covered me as the sergeant holstered his revolver and unclipped the handcuffs from his belt and clicked them onto my wrists. The backup team coming through the kitchen. They walked around the lunch counter, took up position behind me. They patted me down, very thorough. I saw the sergeant acknowledge the shakes of the heads. No weapon. The backup guys each took an elbow. The shotgun still covered me. The sergeant stepped up in front. He was a compact, athletic white man, lean and tanned, my age. The acetate nameplate above his shirt pocket said, "Baker." He looked up at me. "You are under arrest for murder," he said. "You have the right to remain silent. Anything you may say may be used as evidence against you. You have the right to representation by an attorney. Should you be unable to afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you by the state of Georgia free of charge. Do you understand these rights?" It was a fine rendition of Miranda. He spoke clearly. He didn't read it from a card. He spoke like he knew it, what it meant and why it was important, to him and to me. I didn't respond. "Do you understand your rights?" he said again. Again, I didn't respond. Long experience had taught me that an absolute silence is the best way. Say something and it can be misheard, misunderstood, misinterpreted. It can get you convicted. It can get you killed. Silence upsets the arresting officer. He has to tell your silence is your right, but he hates it if you exercise that right. I was being arrested for murder, but I said nothing. "Do you understand your rights?" The guy called Baker asked me again. "Do you speak English?" He was calm. I said nothing. He remained calm. He had the calm of a man whose moment of danger had passed. He would just drive me to the station house, and then I would become someone else's problem. He glanced around 3 fellow officers. "Okay, make a note." He said nothing. He grunted. "Let's go." I walked towards the door. At the door, we formed a single file. First Baker, then the guy with a shotgun, walking past. If you did like this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a like and subscribing to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next video.